So welcome back to the A-level Nelson and Colne. Oh, let me start again. Hello and welcome back to the Nelson and Colne College A-level podcast. My name is Aqil and I'm curriculum leader for A-level sciences. And today we have some of our brilliant Year 2 A-level students who are going to introduce themselves, where you come from, and what A-levels you're studying.
Hi, I'm Abyaz. I do A-levels biology, chemistry and psychology, and I actually moved here from Pakistan 2 years ago.
Hi, my name's Habiba. I came from Sir John Thursby in Burnley, and I'm studying biology, chemistry and sociology A-levels.
Hi, I'm Em. I study A-levels biology, chemistry, maths and an EPQ, and I came from West Craven.
Hi, I'm Ray. I moved to the area from Scotland. I'm currently doing A-levels in geology, biology, maths and chemistry.
Brilliant. So thinking about some of the motivating factors that made you want to study these A-levels. So we'll start with yourself.
So I actually was looking for a career in healthcare sciences mostly, and just a STEM career. So I think my A-levels really tie into my thing that I really want to go into. So yeah, that was my motivation.
Thank you. And how about yourself?
I think for me it was mostly I wanted a balance between humanities and sciences, and for sciences I did want it to be science heavy. Again, I wanted to go into a healthcare science career, but particularly biology and chemistry, I wanted that mix of maths and content subject. So biology was a really good mix of content, learning a lot of knowledge based things, and chemistry was a lot more maths based, which really appealed to me.
Brilliant. How about yourself?
For me, I was really intrigued about the problem-solving side of my A-levels, so I'd always had a lifelong love for maths stemming from primary school through to high school. I wanted to continue that further into A-levels. And then things like chemistry, how it got more advanced from GCSE, it became more visual, being able to see things bond and interact together through the shapes of molecules unit, for example, was something that I really loved.
So Ray, what was some of the motivating factors that led you to choose these specific A-levels?
I've always had a very strong interest in science, especially science focused on the natural world. The medical kind of side of things has never really been my thing. So I wanted a good range of subjects which would complement that interest and help me kind of shape it throughout my time here.
That's brilliant, thank you. And then moving on, so how are we finding our A-levels at the minute as in studying these A-levels?
I think it's amazing. I think it was a great choice for me to be choosing my levels, because along with obviously chemistry, that's really maths based and equations and all those things, I get to just take a break and go into psychology to study more of the behavior side of things. I'm actually really liking it. I think especially with the CAPs going on and the constant workshops, it's really helped me build up my confidence in my A-level subject, so it's good for me.
Thank you. And yourself, Habiba?
I think it's been amazing. It's been a huge jump from high school, but I've been able to adjust really well because of the support systems I have in place. For example, there's safeguarding in place, there's tutors in place that I can go to for support. So that jump was a lot easier. So I was eased in with workshops, with introduction lessons. And again, what Abyaz said about biology and chemistry being a lot harder content-based subjects, but it's manageable because you have workshops, you have teachers in the staff room there to support you. You just knock and they're more than happy to help, that kind of thing. And it's just been amazing. So for me, it's been a balance between academics and also being able to do extracurricular on the side as well.
So what kind of extracurricular do you do at the minute?
So at the minute, I'm taking part in Student Hub. So that's been my extracurricular. So Student Hub being stuff like helping set up the diversity day that we had, helping set up the LGBTQ day we recently had, and Ramadan iftar event that we're going to be having soon. So that kind of thing, just being able to take part in what's going on in the outer world of college as well as my A-level subjects.
Brilliant. So how are you finding studying your A-levels at Nelson and Colne College?
I think for me, my A-level journey has been quite tumultuous at times, but regardless, I believe education is a privilege and I'm extremely lucky to be studying the subjects that I am. I get to walk into college every day and go to lessons and study the things that I love. I came into A-levels, one of the reasons I chose the combination of subjects that I did is because I originally thought I was going to study pure medicine, and that was what I wanted to do for a very long time. But then through my more supercurricular things like my EPQ, I realised that I really liked the biomedical engineering side of things. I think my motivations for studying each subject stays the same, but the pathway that I want to take to do it was just slightly different. And I've had the support from my tutors, whether it be for UCAS or just any additional support I've needed throughout that journey. So overall, it's been an extremely positive one. I'm happy that I've had the support I've had to make that kind of discovery, and it's what I want to do at uni, and I'm beyond thrilled. I'm so excited to go on to do that later.
That's great to hear.
I definitely agree with what Em said about how my interests have kind of changed while I've been studying A-level. Like, before I took A-level geology, I'd never really done anything like that before, and now it's like my favourite subject. And even my biological and chemical interests have definitely changed as well. I've gone for more like a kind of zoological interest in biology, and now I'm thinking about focusing more on kind of the biochemistry, cellular level side of things, and in chemistry as well. I'm really enjoying the overlap between A-level chemistry and A-level geology, because like half of geology is just chemistry applied to rocks, and it's quite fun.
Yeah, and that's great to hear that you're all really enjoying your A-levels. Abyaz, I know you mentioned moving from Pakistan, so how would you say the college supported you with that when you moved?
I think for me it was like the best journey, because I met the best teachers, and I was introduced to you, I was introduced to Gary and Kirsten as well. So moving from Pakistan was a huge jump, so I had to actually enroll into A-levels foundation program, which I think is a great opportunity for like students who actually don't really get into A-levels straight away, so you can build up your skills. So I spent like 2-3 weeks there, and then I had to go through some exams, and I had to just basically prove my abilities and stuff. It was really nice because I was given a lot of guidance to move into A-levels, and then when I finally actually got into A-levels, I was met with amazing teachers, amazing workshops, like study groups, peer things. It was, I think I just found it really, really easy, and it was not like a huge thing for me.
Good to hear. And Habiba, so what kind of skills have you experienced and learned and developed as part of your studies?
I think A-levels or any subject in general shapes you as a person. So you learn so much more than the curriculum. You learn what we call in sociology the hidden curriculum. Skills such as, yes, you learn lab skills, you learn how fire safety, you learn about Bunsen burners, but you also learn communication. You learn teamwork. You learn the biggest thing of respect. You learn how you now are going to be with a teacher who you're going to be with 3 times a week for 1.5 hours a day, essentially. And you learn to respect them, you learn to look up to them, and you learn to go where to go to for support, which is everything you need in the workplace. You learn about so much more than just coming on time and doing your work. You learn about putting effort in. You learn about independence. So from modules such as flipped learning that we are given to do individually, we learn how we have to do them even in workplaces. You get tasks to do on your own. The teachers are available to go to for guidance, or in a workplace your boss is there for guidance, but you get on with it, kind of thing. And you learn these sort of hidden skills, and they are very transferable into the workplace as well.
Definitely. And how about yourself, Em?
In terms of skills, I don't think I could beat what Habiba just said. I think she summed it up perfectly in terms of things like independence and yeah.
And I know you're our governor for the student body, so
Yes.
how has that benefited your studies, would you say?
Being student governor has been an absolutely fascinating experience. I've always been very interested in the way things run anyway. I've got a very big interest in politics. I was head girl in high school. I've always loved to have these kind of roles, taking kind of student voices and student opinions and making sure that they're reflected in the big decisions that come down from management. And it's interesting to see just all the work that goes into it and the decision-making progress, how rigorous things are here, and how everything has to be justified. And everyone puts so much passion into it too. Everyone who has their own little section, like your curriculum kind of thing, and the energy that you feel from it and the love that goes into it. It's a heartwarming experience to be part of. I just kind of sit in the meetings very much in awe at times of like, wow, you've put all this together, you've put in that work, and it's incredible to see that when it finally does make its way down. So I've loved that. And in terms of, I suppose, bringing that back round to skills, it's been priceless to see how then I could implement those kind of things. I love reading the documents beforehand. I think it's a really good way to stay organised. The way, like, for example, minutes are written, I would never would have come across that before, and I think it's just interesting. Like corporate abbreviations and stuff like that. It's interesting, little bits of finance, things I would have never have come across, and it's nice to just get that whole rounded picture of the further education sector, which I'm just so passionate about in general.
That's good. And we do see each other at the meetings, don't we, as
Yeah,
governors?
absolutely.
In a different limelight. And Ray, how about yourself? So what kind of skills and knowledge have you gained as part of your studies?
All of my A levels definitely emphasise analysis, so like analysis of data or diagrams or rocks. We love the rocks. So I've definitely kind of improved my ability to like notice small details that a lot of people would like overlook over the course of my A levels. And also I think a lot of what Habiba said just kind of sums up a lot of the skills that people don't really talk about with A levels, with like the independence, the dedication, the like finding effort at 9 o'clock at night to do the homework you're meant to be doing, even though you just want to go to bed and like not do anything. It definitely emphasises kind of like resilience and like being able to find motivation even when you don't really want to.
That's good. So in terms of skills and support, how would you say that your A-level teachers and tutors have helped you with that? So we'll start with Abyaz again.
I love this question. I think this is, I really need to talk about this. So first of all, I absolutely love the workshops that I held, because I think the timing is also really amazing, because it's like in the lunch break obviously, and then it's like 12 to half 12, so you don't really miss, like I know you hold like biology workshops, and then you get to choose whatever topic you want. You get like a one-to-one support from your tutors, which is amazing. But I know alongside this, a lot of people, they're not really comfortable with their tutors, so there's like study groups in psychology, in sociology. I think there are some sociology as well. Yeah. So I think it's really amazing, because there you get like a lot of peer support, you get to study in groups, you get to basically peer learning that we think is amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
I think workshops, I love the workshops.
Brilliant. And Habiba, do you have anything to add?
Oh, she explained the workshops. We love workshops. But it's a big thing of I don't know how to explain this in a better way than Abyaz has. It's the constant support. It's that thing that, yes, it feels a bit daunting when you look at a booklet and you're like, okay, yeah, we have to learn all of this. But then when you realise there's a staff room full of 7 or 8 staff members are completely willing to help you, you realise it's a lot easier. You do your part and they do theirs, and it just makes that journey so much better, because it's like two things are joining. If it doesn't feel like a burden, it doesn't feel so strenuous anymore, because you're not the only one doing it. You're sharing that responsibility, and that's why study groups are so amazing, because yes, there's times where you learn from the teacher. What I said earlier, you respect the teacher, but you also learn from one another. Some things you remember and others don't. You're learning from each other. You're building up on that learning. And it's ultimately, we're almost taught, instead of given that growth mindset, we're taught the growth mindset. It's embedded into us. Like, you learn, you build up on knowledge, you constantly persevere. It's not, we're given these models such as Vesper and other skills models, but it's not just taught to us, we adapt on it, we build on our knowledge. Yeah, it's ingrained into us. Yeah. And it's not just said, okay, so you're struggling with something, you have to go to workshop. It's come to workshop. It's a learning environment, and it's the environment that's set is supportive, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's great to hear. How about yourself, Em?
It's nice to feel the support on an individual level. So for me, I have like a chronic disability. It's physical in nature. And I found the support I got from teachers with dealing with that when even from the beginning, when it came to getting access arrangements, they were pronto on it. I had meetings with ALS to get it all sorted and in place. My teachers were made aware of it, and then ever since that's all been put in place. I can use my iPad in lessons because that makes it easier for me to write, and having the option to use a keyboard in my actual exams and mocks and things like that. I also get the same kind of arrangements, and it's made access to education still sustainable. And one thing about having a disability, that even if it is physical like mine, often the mental side is equally as hard. Definitely. So to have the support and teachers you can go to, Catherine's like one of the purest souls I've ever met. She's, it all means a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice to hear that you are being supported
100%.
With your studies, especially with having that disability as well, and not letting it stop you from perceiving your dreams, essentially.
Absolutely.
And how about yourself, Ray?
I think one of the most important things that these guys have got to emphasise is how much contact time you get with your teachers. Like, the class groups tend to be quite small, so it gives you the ability to build that relationship with your teachers, and then it makes it that much easier when you are struggling with a question or just an entire topic to go and ask for that help. Also, I think it's really great how If you just need a quick moment of support, like I don't understand this mark scheme, what is going on, you can knock on the staff room politely and you can just go in and get the help there and then instead of having to wait for a lesson. Like we only have 3 lessons per week for each subject, so sometimes it's easier if you're doing revision there and then to get the support then rather than wait for a lesson.
Definitely. And as a teacher, we love it when you do come in and ask us questions rather than knowing that you're there struggling on your own. So it's really good to hear that, you feel comfortable in knocking on our staff room doors and coming in to ask us questions.
Just linking to that, one thing that just came to mind is that all of our teachers are subject specialists. And it's not just that, it's that the vast amount of experience they have in their careers that they give to us when we're choosing our further careers is honestly phenomenal.
Yeah.
So Aqil in charge of
Pre-med.
sorry, forgot about that, right. Aqil in charge of pre-med is just giving us so much support. Like all of our teachers, for example, Jack is done a lot of research, and on conference day we managed to get someone in that showed us PCR, which is a polymerase chain reaction technique, gel electrophoresis. And honestly, we had that recently in one of our biology mocks that came up, and I could hear Jack in my head teaching us how to do it because we'd had the hands-on experience, that lab experience. And it's phenomenal because you get to see 2 sides of things. You get to see, okay, this is the content, you learn it, books, paper, pen. You get to learn, this is the outside world. This is groundbreaking research that a lot of our teachers have done. This is amazing. So for example, Sajad has done a lot of research as well into bone cartilage that I know Ems knows a lot about. She loves her research, and it helps us with our EPQ, so our extended project qualifications. It helps us choosing careers. It just helps us in subjects a lot more when you understand it and when you're able to get when you're able to see a subject specialist talk about their experience. It helps you. It makes it a lot more memorable, your journey. So I think that's a huge amount of support that we get.
Yeah, I mean, to build on that, it's even down to the smaller things. And one of the things Catherine mentioned with the lab experience is being a small woman in STEM, how things like lab coats might not have fit because they're all built for men, or how machines might be catered for taller people. And I think that's just really fascinating to know that, it's something you might not realise until you're actually in that environment, but it really sticks out and it's extremely memorable.
And we do have vast experiences that we really want to share with our students. And that's something that we do try and incorporate into all our lessons. Habiba, you mentioned pre-med, so for those people listening that don't know what pre-med is, could you just give a bit of a description?
Pre-med, okay, so how do I put this in a short way? So pre-med is, I'd say, my saving grace when it came to applying to medicine. So I've, this is probably going on to a further question, but I applied to medicine and I've currently got 2 offers, one at Aqil University and one at Holyoke Medical School to study medicine, and I couldn't have done it without pre-med. So obviously you have a little bit of experience, you have a little bit of knowledge, what is medicine, you know what the career is. Pre-med gives you a reality check in the best way possible. So it gives you an honest reality check. It makes you realise these are the steps to achieve your dream. It goes a lot more beyond, okay, I want to be a doctor, a doctor's an amazing job. You get in real life doctors, you speak to them, you see the process firsthand. And not only does it make it easier, you're sharing a burden. Because you have a group of 15 or 20 students in that, even more a lot of the time. You have a tutor who's got experience of the application process, and you share your burdens. You have a group, you have lots and lots of people you can go to for help. Interview practice. We were given mock interviews to do, MMI style, from ex-students, doctors, GPs that have come in and they're teaching you how to do interviews. So I'm going to be honest, I don't think I would have been able to get my interviews or get an offer without that mock interview I did, because I was very, very nervous. It gave me a glimpse of the questions. Not only that, after doing that mock interview, I was able to do some with my other pre-med colleagues and students. We were able to sit down and say, can we do mock interviews together? Because we had that experience. And Aqil and Becky, the 2 tutors in charge of it, they not only guide you through it, they're always there. They read your personal statements. I can't tell you how many drafts I had to do for my personal statement. Becky, I read my personal statement hundreds of times. She helped me with my UCAS application. And a big thing for medicine is you need to be on time. Everything needs to be on time. You need to apply strategically. You need to have your UCAT score perfect. You need to send in your further information, and teachers help you do that. Pre-med helps you do that. It gives you a deadline. it gives you stuff to work towards as well. So when UCAT, for example, is a preclinical basically test that we need to do for medicine before we apply to medical schools, I didn't know what that was. It's changed over years. I knew what it was. I didn't know how it worked, essentially. I knew it was UK clinical aptitude test, but I didn't know you sit there and you do this test and you practice for it. I'm on the student bursary, so I was struggling on how I would be able to get this practice website, essentially, to practice for the UCAT. And I talked to Aqil, and I talked to yourselves, and you basically explained to me that there was a website that we had a percentage off. And that made it easier and more affordable for me to even apply to medicine. And again, I wouldn't have been able to do that without the support of PMED.
And it's great to see all of that support coming into fruition and getting those offers. I mean, we always do wish you all the best. So, Abyaz, what are your future steps? What have you got in mind?
So I've applied for optometry, and I've got 3 offers from Sheffield, Andrew Ruskin's, and the Cardiff University. I think this is the career for me. I think it's absolutely amazing. I actually talked to Becky a lot of times. Becky's my tutor, so I talked to her a lot of times, and we had so many conversations regarding my career because I wasn't sure about where to go in, because obviously I moved in, so because of my qualifications and stuff. She sat me down, gave me a whole run through every single career. She was like, this is where you're going. You've got these qualifications, you can actually go in there. And I just sat down with the careers team as well, amazing team, and I picked out optometry, which I think works for me because I wanted to go into a career in healthcare sciences.
So, what are your future plans in terms of university and career?
So for me, the subject I decided on is biomedical engineering. At the moment, I believe my top choice is going to be medical engineering at York. So it'll be 5 years in total, integrated masters with a year in industry placement. And I'm extremely, extremely excited for it. I catch myself just going back to the website to scroll through the course listing and say, yes, this is in module 1. I can't wait. I haven't even finished A levels yet, but just the anticipation is incredible. Yeah.
And it's great to see you share that passion with us for STEM and STEM-based subjects. That's really nice to see.
Yeah, 100%. It was something that originated from my EPQ. I did the development of a prosthetic finger, so I love the process of taking biological joints, for example, and finding mechanical ways to replicate it. It was such a fascinating experience, and I love the support I got from teachers when we're doing that too. Whether it came to writing it, Joe told us how to set up a really good document in Word to have it reference automatically for you, which was a blessing because I know some people who did it by hand, and I'm probably not one of those people. But yeah, no, it definitely fed into the discovery journey of finding out what I loved, and I couldn't be more grateful for it.
So you mentioned the EPQ, which was an independent project, but do you agree that it did help you with your future career and in terms of applying for university?
Yeah, 100%. It made up a component of my UCAS application in terms of personal statement, and it was really interesting just to get kind of a glimpse of what that might look like. Final year projects might be similar things. It's like, oh yeah, I am capable of doing this. I can, do the literature reviews and take all this evidence and put it together, and I can be organised. I can manage a project on my own. It was a really good step into the independent university kind of study life.
Thank you. And Ray, future career, university prospects, what are we thinking?
Well, I applied for natural sciences because I realised during my A-levels that I don't want to pick one thing. I want to do everything at the same time.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just indecisive. But yes, I've received 3 offers for natural sciences so far, including from University of Cambridge, which I'm hopefully going to get into. Results day will be awful if I don't, but
you will. Positivity, come on.
But yeah, I really want to go into research after doing my undergraduate, and hopefully into something really important like in microplastics or human health.
Great. So you're probably having a bit of a full circle moment now. You're coming towards the end of your year 2. So thinking about these new year 11s that are joining, I want one piece of advice from each of you that you would give to a year 11 student. So
I think if I was in year 11 myself, I would really need this advice, which is basically, it's okay to be scared. It's okay if you're confused, talk to your teacher. It's okay to talk to your teachers. It's okay to talk to your tutors. Just take them into confidence. It's fine. It's going to be all right. Yeah, research.
Habiba?
Do it. Don't hold yourself back. Don't let yourself hold yourself back. Don't let your emotions hold yourself back, especially when you're applying for something like medicine or any of these STEM subjects. They're hard. A-levels are hard, but you can do it. You need to believe in yourself. It's as simple as that. It's being able to understand you have the capabilities And everyone around you will reassure you, you can do it. The only thing holding yourself back is yourself. Have that growth mindset, be able to achieve. And your teachers, again, what Abyaz said, they're there to support you. Everyone is there to support you. You can do it and you will do it. It's that full circle moment. You watch yourself achieve and you will achieve. So don't hold yourself back and just dream big, I guess. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, very similar thing to what Abiaz said. It's okay to fail is something that I don't think I would have quite realised elsewhere. I came in here from GCSEs myself, wanting to get all 9s, and heaven forbid I got a few 8s, and it was a complete end of the world to me, even if I still did get mostly 9s. But I originally started off doing 4 A-levels. I started off doing further maths too, so that would include doing A-level maths at an accelerated rate to complete it all in 1 year. And I found that I didn't really cope with that too well. I liked having more freeze so I could take things slower and get more of a deeper understanding rather than getting through a lot quickly. And I got to a point where I had to accept that this isn't how I want to work, but to me it felt like the biggest failure. But after talking to Paula about it and getting the switch to do normal, just go back to doing A-level maths in 2 years, I'm so much happier, I'm so much more comfortable, I'm getting what I wanted out of my education, and I feel like that was such a valuable thing to go through, and I think it's a priceless kind of message you can take with you the rest of your life. I no longer have such kind of, what many would argue, a very toxic mindset surrounding my grades and being defined by some weird letters on a paper. So 100%, it's always okay to fail. You don't have to do everything perfect first time.
I agree. And yourself, Ray, one piece of advice?
If you're taking biology or chemistry or both, I would say the first few topics you cover in A-level on both of those subjects are like the principles of the subject. Like in every exam question, it's going to come up somewhere. So if you apply yourself in the first few months, you're going to be fine.
Right, so thank you so much to our great students, and thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you'd like to be part of this wonderful family that we have at Nelson and Colne College, please do visit the website and apply, and hopefully you'll be able to experience all of this wonderful support soon.